Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Appello. To my left is George Cotter. We are here with our first or second, I don't know how we do it, annual Christmas show.
Second annual
Second
Christmas
annual
show,
before Christmas, yeah.
Last year would have been our second show.
Happy holidays to you all in the audience.
Happy New Year.
If we don't get a chance to do that later. All right, I want to lead with the Mets.
Which I'm all about leading with the Mets.
Which is George's wheelhouse.
Hopefully Mets and leading is a phrase that we hear a lot this year.
Thank God they didn't get JT Realmuto. He's good, but the price they were asking,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. Yep.
But they wanted Noah and a three-way deal, and they wanted maybe Conforto and Nimmo, blah, blah, blah.
I said all along, I think anybody on that roster is up for grabs for the right deal except the top pitching.
Yeah.
Why break up such a good pitching staff?
Conforto should have an amazing year this year. He's about right, 3-4 years in the league.
Yeah.
Done well and
Yep.
healthy. This should be his year.
Kind of breakout year, you call it?
Absolutely.
Joe's calling it.
I am,
Joe's calling
right
it.
here.
All right.
They signed Wilson Ramos instead.
Yeah.
Better catcher.
Yep.
2-year deal, $19 million. Good, manageable.
Yeah.
Last year he had 306, 17 home runs, 76 RBIs.
15 home runs.
15 home runs, right?
Yeah,
right.
Career 273 hitter.
Yep.
So a huge upgrade at that position. And a good defense player, good, handles pitchers well, knows what he's doing.
The only downside on him is he's had some knee problems in the past. He had a couple of knee issues last year, but claims to be recovered and fully healthy. Good professional hitter, big guy.
Yeah.
5'6" place hitter, I would say.
Yeah.
And I like it.
I wouldn't be surprised to see too, because he's older, and if they can pick up another outfielder or another bat, maybe give him more breaks than maybe normal. Not look for him to catch 145 games or something.
I hope they keep the core starting 4 or 5 pitchers intact, which I think they should do.
Yep.
With DeGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Wheeler, Matz, and Vargas. I mean, that's a good start 5. Vargas as a 4-5 guy, which in the past he's been a 1-2 guy. So
if Vargas is your number 5 starter, you're doing okay.
not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
He was a little injury prone last year.
Yep. Then your middle relief, you got Lugo, Gisellman.
Yep. Yeah, I like Gesellman a lot.
And Oswalt.
Yep. And then they brought back Familia.
Not
necessarily middle relief, setup guy.
Setup man, which is good. He accepted that role. He knows. Obviously, he's been in New York, knows the media, knows how to handle the city.
Yeah.
And they got Diaz in the Cano trade.
And if you're a setup guy, there's not a whole lot of dealing with the media.
No.
Unless you do a poor job setting up.
I mean, in theory, you get a closer that's lights out. He might not pitch for 3 weeks sometimes. In a situation where you might. I'm saying obviously you could put him in there anytime.
8th inning guy.
But if you're gonna use it like the old days, where they put him in when they actually want to close the game out, as opposed to putting him in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning when you're facing the heart of the order of the other team, which seems to be a trend now. Which I don't know. Yeah, I think.
That heart of the starting pitcher going through the heart of the batting order that third time is what they always worry about.
Right.
I would think he'd get a fair amount of work.
I would think so.
Syndergaard and DeGrom are known to go deep into a game.
Yeah.
But if Familia's on his game, you don't. I mean, there were days in the past few years where you got to tell the starting pitcher, man, we need you to go out there because we don't trust it to anybody.
And Lugo can spot start, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And Gesellman is a good 6th, 7th, 8th guy. So I like that pitching aspect of it. I'm sure he'll come up with it. He must have 1 or 2 younger guys that'll be. Competing in the loop there. Yeah. Now look at their starting lineup. If Cespedes is healthy, obviously that's huge.
Which I think I said it last show. I don't think we'll see him.
Yep. So say in theory he's to the left. If he's not, you still got Nimmo,
Conforto,
Lagares. I mean that's your 4 outfielders. So.
Yeah, I think Lagares, assuming Cespedes is not there, I think Lagares in center.
Yep.
Conforto in left.
Yep. I mean, you play Lagares at center, great defensively, bat him 8th.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have enough power up to that point.
Yep.
Infield, you got Frazier or McNeil at 3rd. Yep. And then you've got Rosario at, don't you know, Robinson is at second base.
McNeil still with the club.
And they'll still can play at either spot. Yeah, then you've got Alfonso and Dominic Smith at first. Kind of a tuning, which I like.
Yeah.
See what they can do. Let them play.
So you're saying McNeil maybe can play short?
Third.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be playing second. He's not a shortstop. Second or third.
So right now the only thing they don't have any depth in is shortstop.
Right.
behind Rosario.
Right. They've got a kid named Memeñas that's not mine, but
I wouldn't mind seeing a cheap free agent pick up there.
You got something like Julio Iglesias is out there.
Yeah. Julio Iglesias, wasn't he a singer?
I mean, what's Iglesias' name?
If I knew a Julio Iglesias song right now, I'd be singing. I'll tell you right now.
For all the girls, for all the girls I used to love.
Call in.
What's Iglesias' name? The guy who played for the Tigers, a wise guy. Thanks. Let me pull that bus right over here. Somebody back under it. All right, I don't remember that. All right.
I like what the Mets are doing. I think it's exciting as a Met fan for them so early in the winter meetings, hot stove, whatever you want to call it, to be making these kind of moves.
And Brody's like, we're competing right now. We're not waiting around. That's what you got.
What is unfortunate is they're not the only ones in the NL East. The Phillies are they're working hard.
Phillies signed McCutchen, which I don't know if that's a big deal or not. And they've got, I think they're going heavy after Harper and Machado.
Yep.
I think their goal is to get one of those two guys.
I was going to say, salary cap wise.
I think Harper's their number one priority, I think, but because they just got Gene Segura from Mariners, he's going to play short for them. So they don't, in theory, need a shortstop. And I don't know if they put Machado. I don't know if Machado wants to play third or not. I haven't heard anything. But he went and visited the Yankees yesterday. Machado.
Right.
And he's at the Phillies today on Thursday. So
full disclosure, this show is being taped on December 20th.
That's right. Yes. And I say no Machado is my catchphrase.
You don't want him.
I don't like him. I think he's a clubhouse cancer. He's a great player. He's a great player, no question. But I mean, and even Harper too. These guys they're not team oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know how many guys really are these days, but I mean, the Yankees pride themselves on no facial unity and
it's a whole different organization there.
And so say Machado goes to the Yankees. Well, the first time he doesn't run out of a ground ball, it's going to be on the back page of the Daily News. No hustle, Machado. What are we going to do? That type of thing.
Yeah, they'll come up with something catchier than that. But something that rhymes, something.
And then when Didi comes back, what did you do with Didi? How healthy will he be? Mm-hmm. You still got Andujar at third, which I think you want to commit. I would think you want to commit to Andujar for the next 10 years.
10 years, a long time.
You put Machado at third, and then I just think it destroys the kind of chemistry of the club. I think Didi's probably, if not one of the most popular guys at the clubhouse, from what I understand. And I wouldn't mess with that. I'd put Gleyber Torres at short until Didi got back and put Tyler Wade. And Neil Walker's still out there, but I don't think the Yankees have signed him yet.
Oh, they have?
I think they're waiting on that. So then they got Luke Voit and Bird at short at first. So they've got, I don't think they need to do that. I really don't.
Yeah.
Now they're starting pitching. They've got Severino, Tanaka, J-Happ, and Paxton, and then they got CC. I like that starting five.
Yeah.
And they still have all those relievers that are still in the mix. I don't know if, Britton and David Roberts are free agents, but they're still unsigned. So where they go, if they go back to the Yankees, what they do, I don't know. Sonny Gray's still there. They're definitely going to trade him. My guess is they trade him for a backup infielder.
They're not going to get much for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had a horrible season.
They signed, the Mets signed Rajay Davis. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
In a minor league contract.
Yeah.
So he might be in there sooner or later. He's a veteran guy. I mean, can run a little bit still. But as far as the Yankees goes, they got their outfield of Gardner, Hicks, Stanton, Judge, and Ellsbury still around. And they got Clint Frazier outside looking in as the sixth guy. So I think that's what they're looking at. Ellsbury, they got to do something. He's making $22 million a year. I don't think anyone wants his contract as far as a trade. Maybe if they trade Gray and Ellsbury to somebody and, they work out the contract end of it, that might work.
Yeah. Work out something and kind of like with the Jets getting Cano.
Right.
Okay, we'll take him, but you're going to take $20 million of it or whatever it's going to be, yeah.
So as far as the Yankees goes, at first base, I think they're going to stay with Voit hitting right-handed and Bird hitting left-handed. And Bird stays healthy, maybe live up to potential that they think he has, or they hope he has.
Yeah.
Sanchez has shoulder surgery in off-season, left shoulder actually, so he should be 100%. It's going to help us pass balls, but he'll be.
Hey, with a name like Sanchez, you always got a job. We'll get back to Mark Sanchez later.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our baseball. The Red Sox seem to stand pat too. They didn't really do anything major. They re-signed Steve Pearce, small contract, and they made what else? I don't think they did anything else major that I know of. I think most of the guys run the wraps anyway. Joe Kelly went to the Dodgers, free agent, and what's his name? Harvey went to the Dodgers also. Matt Harvey.
The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight went to California, yeah.
He's out there in La La Land now.
I'll never forget the time he was pitching in LA and his nose was bleeding. I'll never forget that. And they said, well, he's prone to nosebleeds, especially on the West Coast. Well, I didn't say it a word.
Draw from that what you will.
I didn't say a word.
Draw from that what you will.
Well, the supermodels and Victoria's Secret models, he's the man. Anyway, college football. We've got December 29th, which is a week from this Saturday, is the Final Four playoffs.
Yep.
With Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson, Notre Dame. What do you think about those games?
Alabama, Clemson. Alabama.
Why don't you go out on a limb there, big fella?
Well, hey, you asked the question. I mean, who's picking against Alabama? You can't.
I think Oklahoma.
He'll end up with 4 weeks of
That's
rest?
the issue if he's 100% healthy, and that's the only thing I could think of that might keep holding him back a little bit.
They can hide that too. They have enough weapons. If he is still nicked up, he's not 100%. He's only 75% or whatever else. They can game plan that, and he can go. He can go Spurrier, and when he was in Florida, and just run quarterbacks in and out.
Yeah. Probably what happens. They'll probably play Jalen Hurts a lot more than they usually do.
Problem with Hurst is he's just not as good a thrower.
Right.
But
plus, if they get a lead,
they don't need to throw it. Right.
And I think one of their game plans. I don't know if they have to, but they probably will try to keep Oklahoma with limited possessions. Because I think Oklahoma could score.
Yeah.
Even though it's Alabama's defense, which arguably could be the best in the country after Clemson. Keep them off field. Now, Oklahoma beat Army this year, 28-21. I think the second or third game of the year, and I think Oklahoma only had the ball like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
They scored 4 of those times, and they had a chance to actually upset them.
Yep.
But that's the only possible way with ball possession, control, running the ball, that you have an outside chance of beating Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't think Alabama will have to do that.
Outside chance for Oklahoma to beat Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'd almost have to score every time they get the ball.
Yeah.
Which against Alabama's defense is not going to happen.
Right.
Notre Dame and Clemson. I mean, everyone is picking Clemson, but Notre Dame might be able to hang in there. I don't know if they'll beat them, but they might be able to keep it close for a little bit anyway.
So of the 2 games, that's probably the one worth watching.
But I think with Clemson, their biggest question mark to me is Trevor Lawrence as a true freshman. How is he going to be in the biggest stage in his life at that point?
Yep.
So far, he's been fine, but you just never know how it plays out. Penn X makes one mistake here and there. Notre Dame's pretty solid, especially on defense. But in theory, I agree with you 100%. Alabama, Clemson.
Yeah.
Usually in these games, the better team always wins out. Very few upsets.
So let me ask you a question. I think we've glossed over this before. What if you went to 8 teams? Have the first round on campus, NIT style. Okay, so Clemson's going to be number 1. They're going to play the number 8, but they're going to play it. Or Alabama's number 1. They're going to play on campus.
Yeah, in Alabama.
Round 1.
Yep.
Get it down to 4 teams, then go into the bowl games.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do. I actually went through the scenario in my head over here. If you did 8 teams, I think you have Alabama versus UCF.
Yeah.
So the beauty of that is, you squelch the UCF talk right away either way. Can you hang with the big boys or you can't?
Right.
If they get blown out by 40, then it's obvious.
All of a sudden it's UConn going to the Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
Etzel,
now you got Clemson, number 2 seed, against, I think Washington might be at that spot, University of Washington.
Yeah.
Or maybe Michigan, but probably Washington at that point. So Clemson, Washington, defensive game. Yeah. And then Notre Dame would play Ohio State, 3 versus 6. And then you got Oklahoma, Georgia, 4-5. That's the way I look at it. So, and then you do the 1-8 plays a winner, 4-5. You go through that whole scenario, but I don't see why not. I think it's going that way.
I think that at some point they're going to have to.
I think it will.
One of the questions I would have is, do you still give automatic bids to some of the conferences? And I think maybe you do.
That's the other thing too. And then you got Notre Dame, that's not in the conference. So
right. So say you took 5 conferences and basically have 3 at-larges or something like that. And the at-large would be, what, a coach's poll or whatever else. Mostly going to be voted.
Right.
It's basically going to be
well,
chalk
I think the
up to the
question
rankings.
comes is how important is the conference championship game?
Yeah.
What comes out. So
well, and from a money standpoint, I don't think you wouldn't want to lessen the importance of the conference championship game. Right. Because so the Big Ten, all schools in the Big Ten make a lot of money because there's a conference championship game and it's a big deal.
Right.
Same in the ACC, SEC, whatever else. So I think by still honoring some of those conferences, I think you still prop up the value.
Let's say this. Say Georgia beat Alabama in the conference championship game. What happens then to the Final Four?
Yeah. Well, does Alabama get knocked out of the top 8? Probably not.
Yeah.
They probably get an at-large bid, right?
I think they still make the Final Four because they would have one loss. Georgia still would have one loss. Now, do you still vote Alabama number 1? Clemson's undefeated. Clemson's number 1.
I think if you're going to do it conference-wise, the conference guys would take the top 5, and then now in what order? That maybe.
Well, let's just look at the top 4. So just say, go back in theory. Georgia beats Alabama, so you could go Alabama still number 1.
Yep.
In a tough game, a close game.
Yeah.
Alabama number 1, Clemson 2, Oklahoma 3, and I guess not Oklahoma. Maybe you have to go Notre Dame because they're undefeated, so they would be 3. Georgia would be 4.
Yeah.
Then you have Alabama, Georgia again. Almost back to back within 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think people are like that.
Yeah.
But Alabama played Georgia in the final last year, so
right.
Championship game. But I mean, Georgia clearly is one of the better teams in the country. I'd say definitely top 6.
Yeah.
Ohio State, the way they were playing toward the end, we're getting there. We're playing very well.
Yeah.
And Georgia's Georgia. So I mean, Michigan blew that Ohio State game, so they were just.
Oh yeah, I mean,
no chance.
Not only did they lose, they looked horrible.
And UCF won their last 2 games with a game and a half without their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And another kid came in and did very well. But UCF is definitely a good team, speed-wise.
Yeah.
They're really good. And Washington's decent in Ohio State. So I mean, I don't see those teams are going to a bowl game anyway.
Right.
So what's the difference? So you might as well do an Alabama, UCF. That would be fun to watch.
So my thought on the having a home game, which I think is the way to go, because to add a layer of bowl games, or to take, say, the New Orleans Bowl, or one of these early bowl games, and make that that first round of the playoffs. Now you're asking fans to travel to 3 bowl games in a season, which I think is
the problem
rough.
with that would be maybe a weather situation. So if you had UCF going to Alabama, I don't know how the weather is in Alabama this time of year.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I mean,
but if somebody's going to go to Ohio State, different deal.
Say somewhere where it snows.
Yeah.
And you got to go there, and it makes for a sloppy. 13-6 game. I think one of the.
In the NFL, that happens.
Yeah, but see, I think one of the goals of the bowl games is warm weather, beautiful stadiums at the biggest games. So.
But keep in mind, like say, now you're asking, say, Notre Dame fans, if they don't have the home field advantage, or if you're not going to do it at home, you're asking your fans to now travel 3 times if you continue through the playoffs, which now sudden that hurts things, and it gets into the case where UConn lost a boatload of money at the Fiesta Bowl
3 times if you go to the finals, if you go to the championship.
Right, and your fans maybe can't do that, because when UConn went to the Fiesta Bowl, they lost a lot of money, which is unheard of, because that's just not the way it goes. You always hear, they make all this money, and it's shared and split up amongst the conference, but
because their fans can go there, is that what you're saying?
You get the tickets. You basically pre-purchase the tickets, and then you got to sell them to your fans. So now you're, I still think it's.
Yeah, it's a debate.
You got to have a home game.
It's a debatable topic. You can go on for days about.
Let's go. We're going to run a marathon. Hey, Chris, just so you know, we're going to go over today.
Now the Heisman race was decided. Kyler Murray won the Heisman, which he came out late, and Tua getting hurt last couple weeks, and not playing the fourth quarter of the majority of his games. I think it really hurt him stat-wise, where Kyler Murray had to literally win games for his team. And statistically, he was just he was almost as good, if not better, than Baker Mayfield from the year before, as far as stat-wise.
Stat-wise, yeah.
So it's really rare to have back-to-back Heisman winners from the same college. Now, do you know the background of Kyler Murray? High school background of him?
No, bring it up.
He was 43 or 53 and 0 in high school.
Okay, solid record. Probably
Texas,
43. I don't know.
In Texas, 43 it was probably,
probably 10
last 3 years,
playoffs.
Won 3 state championships in a row and was the Gatorade High School Football Player of the Year, I think, Athlete of the Year, his senior year. So he's done it before. It's not like this kid's will come out of nowhere.
Right.
Now, the only downside of him, we really have heard of him that much before Oklahoma was out of high school, he went to Texas Tech, I believe.
Okay.
And sat for a year. And then he transferred to Oklahoma and sat for another year. Meanwhile, he got drafted by the Oakland A's and played with them. So he's actually pro.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah. I think he signed for a $4 million guaranteed contract with Oakland A's. So the kid's a millionaire playing college football. How great is that?
Bad.
How great is that?
You don't have to eat dorm food, you know?
Yeah. Did you see his parents at all on the Heisman? Did you watch Heisman?
No.
Parents are interesting. His father is a very stoic, quiet man who I guess knows football. The mother knows nothing about football.
Okay.
And it's just like whatever he wants to do, he wants to do. And they were interesting, whereas to his parents, Hawaiian, kind of like prim and proper and religious and all that. And then you got Haskins' mom, which is his mom there. I don't know where the dad is.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Haskins, a lot of people think he might be the top quarterback coming out next year's draft.
Yep.
If he comes out, he
Yeah.
might stay a year.
What a difference as far as quarterback draft last year versus his coming
big difference.
year.
Yeah. Very average. I mean, I guess Herbert on Oregon, he's got the sexy stats. He's 6'6", 230. Pros and cons of him. I like Will Grier.
The big con being that he's at Oregon. Oregon's got no history of producing professional quarterbacks.
Mariota,
Exactly.
But good call, George. Sorry.
As I was saying.
Had to get you back with the bus. Had to back the bus back up. Yeah. But I think I like Will Grier from West Virginia for a couple of reasons. He's got the prototype size.
Yep.
He's older. He's 24. Got a wife and a kid. Not that matters that much, but I mean the maturity level is there.
Maturity,
I think.
sure. Yeah.
He's not going to go out and do stupid stuff. And I think he's a second round pick, and I think he could be a good pro in the race system. Then you got this Drew Lock from Missouri, people like, and they've got there's a couple other guys that they're looking at. But there's no sexy like number one. Here we go.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Kyler Murray would be a second round pick if he came out. Tom McShay thinks he's a first round pick. So they don't discount the height. They don't count the height that much of him because he's basically not even 5'10". They say more like 5'9".
Yeah.
But he's so fast and so quick, and he creates situations, and he's a winner. He's got that it factor that I don't think you can't teach.
Yeah.
But so that'd be interesting. I mean, you know what's weird about the college, the playoff is that they go 3-4 weeks between their last game and the semifinals. It just seems like it's forever.
Yeah.
Been 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of that's mandated.
Which comes down to there in the situation is the coaching staff, the game planning. Obviously, they're watching tons and tons of film to figure out what they can do or can't do against the opponent.
Yeah.
The one thing that hurts Oklahoma a little bit, I think, is they have this. I think his name is Magnanimous Brown, or when he's white out and he's hurt. And I don't know if he'll be ready for the semifinal, but he got hurt at the end of the year.
Yeah, so it is kind of a pro and con. You could get flat in the off time, but you have a chance, whether Tua is healthy or
everybody brings back to I remember Notre Dame played Alabama 3-4 years ago and got actually destroyed in that one game.
Yeah.
And so they asked Brian Kelly at SportsCenter. He's like, well, we're much better prepared now, much more around the team, and it was one of those things.
Yeah.
And I think a friend of mine went and saw the Broncos against I think Seattle years ago. Seattle won the game, and he said that they came out of the locker room and it just looked like boys versus men. He said Seattle looks like big, fast, and mean. Yeah. And Denver was just like small and quick, and Seattle just destroyed them.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting.
Yep.
So that's our college.
You been watching any bowl games at all?
I have been.
I've seen a little bit here or there. One question. To me, what I think is going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to watching it, LSU versus UCF in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you think happens there?
I think it's very simple. It was funny because they had Ed Orgeron on SportsCenter last night. yesterday was National Signing Day, so a lot of kids declared whatever. So it's actually kind of funny. He's on the podium, and in the background is an indoor stadium where teams are doing drills. His team's doing drills.
Okay.
So he's on the podium, and he's talking about his recruits. He's like, oh, we got so-and-so, he's this and that. And the noise in the background was kind of annoying. So he goes, hold on a minute. Gets up and goes, hey! He yells out, will you be quiet? I'm holding the press conference here. Thank you. Goes back up to the podium, starts again, does the exact same thing. Like nobody listened to him. Goes, excuse me. Will you stop the drill? Stop all the drills. I'm having a press conference. Thank you. Goes back again. And it was pure Ogeron, you know. I think he's a good motivator, but as far as being a coach, I'm not a big fan. But anyway, he just looked like a knucklehead yelling them behind the, you know. It was like, geez.
And maybe not having the discipline that they do quiet down.
Yeah. They're just like, yeah, sure. And they just kept on doing what they were doing.
Yeah, okay.
They yelled at him again. I got a minute later. So that was it. But as far as your question goes, I think UCF will give them all they can handle. The reason being is LSU's got probably 8 to 10 guys that will be drafted NFL in the first 5 rounds, I think. I'm just guessing on that.
Yeah.
They've got a couple potential first-round guys, Greedy Williams, a couple of these other guys. And do they want to be there? You know what I mean? Do they want to be there? Where UCF is still on this undefeated, disrespect,
chip on the shoulder, something to prove.
The little guys playing the big guys. Like last year, they beat Auburn.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Auburn came in there.
Flat. Yeah. Yep.
Flat.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have the non-majors play the majors, and do they want to be there? Are they hanging out? Are they?
It's their Super Bowl versus. Another year it didn't work out, and we're stuck at
just another game. I want to get the heck out of here, go to my combine. Not get hurt.
And you might have some guys that decide not to play.
Or if you have a decent program with a great coach, he uses it as a motivating factor. Hey, we got 3 weeks. Let's see what we can do. Let's put a groundwork in for next year.
Yeah.
We'll get our starting guys.
Let's not face the air quote embarrassment of a small school beating
let's build on this. Get ready to
have
go.
Some pride,
I think that a lot of your better programs do that. Mm-hmm. Like last night, Ohio beat San Diego State 27-0, and that was just from the beginning. Like Ohio wanted to be there, and San Diego State was like, So I think a lot of times too in these bowl games, it's all on the quarterback. Mm-hmm. You get a good quarterback to control the tempo either way, and he can lead you to a victory. Appalachian State won their game. They won nice. They beat somebody 56-14. Army Navy was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that was I've never seen two offenses that are just like it looks like middle school flag football or something. This quarterback from Navy went in there. His name is Apke. 2 picks and a fumble, and he had 4 passes. It's like, nice job, good day.
Good rating.
They put another guy in there, and he's holding his own. They put Apke in there because the guy got hurt, throws a pick right away, and they kept him in the next series, and he fumbled, and Ari ended up beating him 17-10, but it was just like the offenses are just, I don't know, it's just so tough to watch.
Yeah.
And ironically, Army almost beat Oklahoma. They gave them the toughest game, 28-21, way back in the day. Yeah. But I always say about these academies, you think that they would be so much better with the discipline, and they're obviously all smart, but also they're not going to be playing in the NFL.
Right.
So maybe there's a different mindset. They have other priorities. Probably.
Roger Staubach.
Staubach.
Yeah. I went to high school with a good friend. He was a year ahead of me, and he went to the Naval Academy. And the stuff, I mean, their life as a quote college student is completely different from anybody else's.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think they have the access to the same athletes.
Right.
And the focus isn't there. I mean,
they don't be like big giant guys either. No. Those guys aren't in the services for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah, but
you can't. You're not going to be 320 pounds climbing into a nuclear sub.
Grease them up, throw them in there, on the chute. But because Houston plays Army in a bowl game, and a lot of people think Army's going to win that. Yeah. But
which is nice to see. I said it in the last show. I would have liked to see Army get a more legitimate bowl, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word, but get Army into a bigger bowl. Yeah. And then whether it's Navy or the Air Force, to the Armed Forces Bowl.
Then the other thing is you're in a service and you're in a bowl like, oh, geez, we got 3 more weeks. So, other stuff. You know, I mean, it's always they're tough to pick either way to win it. Because then you look at it, they're very disciplined and they're focused, and then you get somebody else that doesn't really. The other team is like, they're partying and going to all these things. You know, it depends what venue it is and what they offer. But
I saw something the other day, and I don't remember a lot of the specifics, but because they're amateur athletes and all that, they get gift bags. You know, they get some kind of a gift. It's got to be under $500 in value.
Right.
So depending on who the sponsor is, the Cheez-It Bowl or whatever else and it ranges from a watch to some apparel and things like that. And I don't remember which one it was. Totally just gave up. I was like, okay, we're going to give you a $500 gift card to Amazon or something. Let's think of something.
Exactly. We don't have time for this. Now, last week, we'll talk a little pro football now. Go over the games from last week. We're getting down to the wire with the playoffs and whatnot. The Pats don't look very well. I don't know. I think that game. They lost the last second to the Dolphins was huge for them, especially
the gadget play.
The gadget play that was. I don't know how that happened, especially to a Patriot team.
Yeah.
They had Gronk back there in a Hail Mary defense, which is smart. But the problem is that the ball is on the Miami 30-yard line.
Yeah.
So. I don't know if anyone could throw the ball 70 yards, and it turned out that he was the last man back there to try to tackle Kendrick Drake, and
looked awful.
Yeah, and he looked like he was about 90 years old, like me out there. So
somebody, and I didn't get a chance to see it, but I was talking to somebody, and there was a fan who had the phone filming it.
Yep.
And Gronkowski is kind of walking around back there. And the play is really developing before he kind of says, "Ooh, I'm the guy now," And so he was totally out of position and just got burned.
Took a bad angle to it too. He kind of rounded the angle off, and then he couldn't get there.
Well, like you said, he was there for a Hail Mary pass. That's why he doesn't play DB. You don't have a tight end.
You don't have a tight end. Tight end runner. And then you didn't have Devin McCourty wasn't even back there, who's probably the best tackler in the secondary.
Yeah.
So, but they also left some points on the board right before halftime. Brady got sacked with 9 seconds to go. They had no timeouts, and they didn't even get a field goal.
Yeah, and Gostkowski missed a point after, and a very makeable field goal, 42-yard or something.
And then prior to that play, the Pats had come down and got a field goal instead of a touchdown on first and goal.
Yep.
So, they left the points on the board. Then Josh Gordon today just finally gave it up. The Patriots. I mean, what a...
Yeah, I think officially he quit before he was suspended.
Yeah, he was going to get suspended.
It both happened on December 20th.
Yeah.
A little bit surprising. The Pats have had it's first of all, it's too bad the guy's got a disease, and hopefully he finds the help that he needs. But the Patriots have been generally pretty good at these projects and keeping guys on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I mean, I'm not saying they're missionaries or anything, but they get a guy in and they can keep him in control for a season or 2 seasons, whatever it happens to be, and so that's a weapon that's gone. The Patriots have got 5 losses. I don't think unless there's some upsets, they probably don't host a playoff game.
Yeah, they'll win their last 2 games against the Jets and the Bills.
Whoa, hey.
I said it.
You're gonna lock it down?
I said it. They're not gonna mess around. They might not
Darnold looked good last week.
Might not cover a spread, but they'll beat them.
Darnold looked good last week. Come on, he had the best quarterback rating in the NFL last week.
The problem is how many of the Jets have the bus warming up to go to the Virgin Islands or Turkish Caicos.
They got a tea time at
Yeah, as Shaq and the boys say, 1, 2, 3, Caribbean. At the end of the NBA playoffs. They should win the last game. But the thing is that, like you said, I don't think they won't be having home field advantage.
No, if there's an upset.
That's big
early in the an early round.
It's big for them.
Possibly can, but that's huge.
Big for them.
That's huge.
The sleeper for me in the whole AFC is the Chargers.
Yeah.
I would not want to play them anywhere. First of all, they're great on the road, and they've been winning games. They beat KC. Was it KC or Pittsburgh?
They beat KC on Thursday night.
Yeah, and then they beat Pittsburgh last week, right?
The week prior. Yeah, Pittsburgh first, then KC. Yeah. So they beat KC on a short rest.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had 7 guys out.
Yeah.
So, and when they beat the
Steelers.
When they beat the Steelers, yeah, they had Keenan Allen got hurt, And then Melvin Gordon hadn't played, and they're missing all kinds of guys, and they still found a way.
Plug them in, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and Phillip Rivers is, he's a great quarterback. And,
and I mean, in all honesty, they're winning the close games this year, and they were 2-3 years prior, they were finding ways to lose those close games.
Yeah.
And they lost a lot of.
And they got a lot of weapons. They got Keenan Allen. They got Mike Williams is coming to his own. Yeah, good old Antonio Gates is still limping around and catching a pass here and there. Yeah, he gets the ball, he starts to run. It's like just roll it over. And then Melvin Gordon.
I think he might be the first NFL player who's a member of AARP. He's been around a long time.
You could be right there. You could be right. Yeah. Defense is good. They got Kerwin James back there, one of the best. Probably win Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. They're tough. I think they're very, very good. They're tough. I would not want to play them. KC to me is very, very good offensively. I think in the playoffs, Kareem Hunt absence hurts them a lot.
Yep.
It's just another weapon. You take one of your 5 best weapons off that field, and it's going to hurt you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I also think that Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is and as great as the year he had, he's going to make a big mistake.
Okay.
He's just going to fumble the ball or try to throw it in a small window or try to make something happen, and I just can't see him. Yeah,
he's going to Mark Sanchez it.
Not that bad.
No, well,
Yeah, but I mean, I just see him as kind of like a gunslinger that does he have the discipline to hone it in.
So we got the Chiefs and the Chargers have already clinched spots in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Houston's 10-4, so they've got the advantage for home field, assuming that, if they do win out.
And pass the other division.
The Steelers,
Steelers are still hanging around.
Last Saturday I'm looking at their schedule. They still got the Saints, and then
the Ravens, I think. Yeah,
it might
Ravens,
be.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, they're in trouble.
They're still they still got the most talent of any. I mean, you got three of the linemen made All-Pro. Villanueva, Pouncey, and one other guy made All-Pro.
Yeah.
3 linemen, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And then I think Antonio Brown's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they got Juju Schuster. I mean, they have got some really good weapons, and defensively they're pretty good. Their front is good. The guy at KC named Jones, but this guy's an animal. He had like 16 sacks. He was all over Phillip Rivers the other day.
Yeah.
He's very, very good. But their back end is not as good as it used to be.
So the only unfortunate thing for my New York Jets is the Raiders are worse.
Yeah.
So when it comes to draft picks, we need the Raiders to win out.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected the Raiders to be a fantastic team, but you just kind of figured that Chucky would do a little bit better job there. But hey, maybe it's a rebuild.
I really believe that letting Khalil Mack go was just the start of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you look around the locker room, you've got this guy that's a game changer. That's fantastic, potential Hall of Famer, and you just let him go, and you're probably going, what? Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
He was average player, is one thing. And then you got Amari Cooper, who didn't play that well with the Raiders, and let him go to the Cowboys. And look what he's doing with the Cowboys. I mean, you got 2 potential All-Pros there. And you let him go. I mean, you want to build and all that stuff, but I don't know. And then they let Reggie McKenzie go. They fired him.
Mm-hmm.
The GM. So obviously Gruden got all the power
worked
there.
for it twice, I think.
Yeah, he's got all the power there. That $100 million contract.
So he's doing the cooking and buying the groceries.
Sure is. It looks that way. Yeah.
Okay. So they're not gonna put a GM in. Or they're gonna make Gruden.
Good question. I don't know. I'm sure they would have to have someone come in there, but with Gruden's probably blessing. I mean, it's probably the way they're looking with that.
A yes man to Gruden. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So in the NFC.
Well, let's finish the AFC. The Ravens too. They're defensively, they can play with anybody.
Sure.
And Lamar Jackson's been added. Joe Flacco's on the bench now.
Yep.
So Lamar Jackson's fully entrenched as the starter. It's another guy. Patrick Mahomes, I think, will make a big mistake, fumble, try to push it too much.
Yep.
Those guys are just not ready yet for the big stage, in my opinion. They can prove us wrong.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, you don't just walk in there your first, second, third year and handle all this. You just don't,
Right.
It's just too many X factors, and with the preparation and the stakes. But the Ravens still have an outside shot. But the other team that I would not want to play too is the Colts. Colts are pretty darn good.
Really?
Yeah.
You're afraid of the Colts?
Well, not afraid of them, but I'm afraid of nobody. But Andrew Luck's been playing the all-pro level.
Yeah.
And
they're kind of an odd team. They just, they were right there all the time, and Luck was good, and then just
playing great,
And
then Marlon Mack, the running back they got, is legit.
Yeah.
And they've got good linebackers, good defense. They play hard. They play hard.
And they're in the conversation to get in the playoffs.
Yep. They got definitely a good shot.
Yep.
So watch out for those Colts. I wouldn't be surprised to see a first round win against somebody. Yeah. Problem is all those games like that, Colts and Steelers and Ravens, they probably have to go on the road the whole time, and that's a tough thing.
Right.
It's a big difference in
playoff
games.
So KC plays Seattle this coming week. Colts play the Giants, so they
Seattle,
go 9-6.
Seattle lose to the Niners last week. I mean, come on, boys.
Yeah, with their third quarterback.
God Almighty, you can't.
Yeah, the Colts play your Giants, so they go to 9-6 most likely.
Colts will beat the living, out of the Giants. I hate to say, Eli was going to be on his back the whole time. I just can't see that. You got a team like the Colts that are hungry, want to make playoffs. And the Giants are like, you know what, one more, and I'm gone.
What was it? 1, 2, 3 Caribbean?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let's get the heck out of here. Start those buses. We got warm weather. We got vacation for 3 months. So
I'm gonna go. I don't. You're more the prediction guy. I'm gonna go on a prediction here.
Who do you think comes out of AFC?
Well, first thing I was going to say is I think the Giants beat the Packers this week. Or the Jets, rather. Jets beat the Packers this week.
Wow.
And the only reason I say that, been a Jets fan my whole life.
Is that your head or your heart?
It's my head. This is my head.
Okay.
Because my heart would say, lose. More picks, more picks.
Why are they going to beat the Packers?
Because I've seen it happen far too many times. They're in good position. They're going to get the second, third round pick. And they'll take off a couple wins here and drop down to 10.
So they'll win to hurt themselves.
And then they'll trade that pick, for 2 second rounders. They'll get a couple linemen that you and I will never hear of again, and that'll be that. So that's my prediction.
Well, it's funny because I think the line opened up with the Jets favored by 3, but then they said that Rodgers was going to play, and it went the other way to 3 for the Packers, I think.
Yes, the Packers are favored on the road.
But initially he wasn't going to play the last 2 games.
Yeah.
But he says, I want to play, so.
Yeah. So who would I got coming out of the, well, like I said, the Chiefs and the Chargers have already clinched spots.
I think my pick is the Chargers come out of AFC. That's my pick.
Oh, we're just going right all the way to the end? I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
It's hard to pick because you don't know what they're going to be at next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so. And to me, it's just that's a hard one to pick because the Chargers are good, the Chiefs are good. Do I believe in any of them? Not really. There's no dominant team there. There's not there's not a team to beat.
I think they're the most dominant of what's left. I think they're the most well-rounded team when healthy. I mean, they got both. They got a legit team.
Yeah, I think the Patriots go to the playoffs.
Yep.
The AFC North, I don't know. I mean, the Steelers have the tie.
Yep.
The Ravens, the Steelers they've got to go to New Orleans.
The only thing is, I don't think if the Ravens make it, I don't think they won't have home field though. So I was going to say, they're tough out. They should have beat KC a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But
the Saints, do they play the Steelers tough? I don't know. Do you start resting guys with 2 games left? They're in. I mean, they're 12-2. They're not going to. There's no.
It's a good question.
No worry.
I think it depends on whether a win would help you for home field and help you in the final say, which is kind of complicated to think about. All right, let's go to the NFC. So I think the Chargers. Who do you pick at AFC?
Yeah, I'll go Chargers.
Chargers, okay.
That way we're both right or we're both wrong.
Okay.
Write it down.
Right, I got it.
Okay,
Put a star on it.
All right.
All right. And NFC, you've got a couple teams that I think are very good, but again, quarterbacks. To me, quarterback is everything. The Bears with Trubinsky, another guy. How's he going to be in that big moment?
Yeah.
Second year in the league. I tell you, the Rams are a funny team. First of all, I think Gurley is banged up a little bit. Jared Goff, I don't know if he hasn't played well the last 4 or 5 games. I think he's got 6 picks in the last 3-4 games. Mm-hmm. And it's weird with them. They might have home field, but they don't have a heck of an advantage at home field in LA. They played this past Sunday night against the Eagles, and I think it holds like 90,000 people in the LA Coliseum, and it seemed like the Eagles were home with the fans. I mean, it was just like Yeah,
and
so
that's I mean,
it's kind of weird.
That's
LA
always kind of been the knock on football teams in LA.
Yeah,
that's why they come in and out.
Yeah, such a mismatch of people.
It's almost like Atlanta. Atlanta never has I mean, the Braves were the most dominant team in the National League, and they couldn't get 50% capacity.
Right. So the question with the Rams is, you get the good news, you get home field. The bad news is how much of an advantage is it?
Yeah.
Even though it's nice weather. I still think the Saints are a team to beat, but if they're home, they're a lot different than they are on the road. So if they continue to win out and they get the home field advantage, I think they'd be my pick in the NFC would be the Saints.
Yeah.
But I say watch out for the Eagles if they make it. The reason I say that, Wentz is done. I think Foles. I think Foles is, my humble opinion is Foles is much better than Wentz at this point in time.
Yeah.
Wentz is a sexy pick because he's 6'6" and da. But I think Foles is just a pro quarterback. Played great against the Rams. I mean, he won that game for them. They beat them outright. They were 13-point underdogs. They ended up beating them by 7. I think Foles is very, very good. And the Eagles are getting better. They still have a great defensive line.
It's going to be on the road the whole way, right?
They're playing well. They got to make it. It might come down to the Cowboys at the Giants last game of the year. And if the Giants win, Cowboys are out. Oh, how nice would that be?
That's a big if there, Joe. Big if.
Yep. And that would get them motivated to do that because they can't stand the Cowboys. But
Cowboys lost this past week to who was it?
They got shut out by the Colts, right? 23-0.
That's right. It was Colts. Yeah.
23-0. Yeah.
Which I thought was an upset, but then now you're telling me the Colts are an awesome team. So.
No, I thought they would. I mean, I did call that, but Dak Prescott, another one. Big game. Can he carry on it? Can he carry on the bag? I don't think he can. But they've got great wide receivers.
They don't exactly have a history of great quarterbacking in the playoffs. They
got Zeke Elliott, which is one of the best backs in the league, and their defense, and then Sean Lee's back defensively as another linebacker for them. They have great young linebackers. But, again, it all depends on positioning, home field, who plays who, and it's so hard to say right now. Yeah. The Redskins on their third quarterback, Josh Johnson, he beats the Jaguars, Jaguars are such a freaking mess. Remember, last year they lost to Pittsburgh in the semis?
Go to the archives.
Man.
Go to the archives. At some point this summer, we were talking about, the Jaguars are going to be good this year. And I said, you know what? No. They're just, I also said the Texans are going to flop too because every year the Texans are going to be great. Texans are playing good football.
Well, I thought I think they were going to probably part ways with Blake Bortles. So they're maybe they put Eli down there for a year.
Hey, you know who's going to need a job next year? Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
So the Bears have clinched the division, right? Saints
Bears are clinched. Yep. Saints are clinched.
Vikings in the conversation to sneak into the playoffs.
Yep.
Panthers are out. Seahawks are.
Eagles.
Yeah, they're still in the conversation.
Yeah. Rams all set.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, Vikings.
Well, the winner of that division goes Cowboys,
Seahawks.
Eagles, and then Seahawks as a wild card, and maybe the Vikings as a wild card.
Yeah. So as it stands now, those teams are going to have to fight it. Those three teams are going to have to fight it out for the wild card. Then.
Yeah. So. The Vikings were interesting because they fired their OC, John DeFlippini, whatever his name is, and he was actually it was the next hot ticket for. To be head coach of offense, and the guy gets fired from Minnesota. Allegedly, Zimmer says he had told him to run the ball, and he didn't run the ball. Now, I kind of find it hard to believe. Your head coach tells you to do something, but you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But Cook was hurt, but they ran Cook with this new guy, Kurt Stefanski, is the new offensive coordinator. He does what Zimmer tells him to, allegedly, and they blow out the Dolphins 41-17. And Dalvin Cook, I think, had 147 yards, and they dominated the game.
I agree. I find that hard to believe. Was it all of a sudden in one game he decides to do that? Because, how many times does that happen before you fired a guy?
Yeah. And the guy's office going, no, I'm not going to run the ball, even though you're my boss. I don't know how that.
Obviously, the coordinator's always the whipping boy, right?
Yeah. And then they take him down. Now he has they say he's got no shot of being a head coach next year, and then God knows what else. So poor guy just lost it all. But
they always do seem to resurface, though.
Yeah,
it's a small circus, and you know all these GMs and coaches have their guys.
Yeah.
And he'll get plugged in somewhere. You would think.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a coordinator. You know, who knows?
Like we always say, you fire somebody, who you got to replace them? They're going to be better than us. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Like look at the Colts. The Colts wanted or had Josh McDonald for a day, and then Frank Reich came in, and Frank Reich's been amazing.
Yeah.
So they're
the Jets had Bill Belichick for a day.
For a day. Yeah. So basically,
can we rant about that? No.
Yeah. No. All right. So that's the pros. You got Saturday games now. You got this Saturday, you got a couple of games.
Oh, I hate Saturday games. You know why I hate Saturday games? Because they always flex the bad teams in there, and the Jets always play on Saturday. And you know why I don't like the Jets play on Saturday? Because it's the only game going, and too many people are watching them. I don't want the whole country watching my team.
Last Saturday, it wasn't even on freaking TV.
That's good. I like it that way.
It was on NFL record. That's great. What the heck? And I couldn't even watch the darn thing. Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah. Saturday games next.
How much time we got?
2 weeks. About 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. All right. So pros. What else we got next? College hoop. Yeah. Long way to go. In and out. Duke beat Princeton the other day, 101-51.
I do want to say
it.
The University of Hartford Hawks played Duke pretty tough. University of Hartford went down to Cameron Indoor Arena.
Yeah.
First half, they looked pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hey,
Hartford coach is going berserk on the sidelines.
They're out of there. Yeah,
sit down.
They're out of their element.
Calm down. Sit down. You're going to lose by 30 at the end, which you did. Okay, you're all fired up. You know, just relax.
Hey, it's good for the program.
It's good for the program.
Good for the program. Good for the program.
That's right. That's your school, Hartford.
Yeah, exactly. I got a tie there.
You're a coach.
University of Hartfard and George Mason University.
You're a Hartford coach. That's true.
That's
it.
True. You know?
That's true.
Mason's won a couple games.
Yeah.
They're getting there.
University of Buffalo, man. Beat Syracuse the other night.
Yeah, that was a
tough program they got
there.
Yeah.
UConn beating Syracuse was a bit of an upset. Now Buffalo beat them. That's a little strange.
Who's that UConn coming up? They got they beat Manhattan. I saw.
UConn's, they played a couple games. I watched a week or two ago. They played Arizona.
Right. They beat by 4
at home. But it was one of those games. I think it looked closer than it was. And in the last couple of minutes, they never. It was like on that 4-6.
Played Florida State, New Jersey, and the line was 7. And Hurley got a technical with 30 seconds to go, and then it became 8. Just for the record.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying. Okay. NBA kind of, they had Lakers been playing pretty well with LeBron, and then what else happened? The Suns won a couple games in a row. They beat the Knicks in the Garden. Then next night they could beat the Celtics in Boston.
Milwaukee's playing pretty well.
Milwaukee's playing pretty well. Yeah. OKC and who was it? They had a brawl, almost a brawl the other night. It was
it reminded me a little bit of like the old Detroit Pistons, Bill Laimbeer kind of.
It was Denver. It was Denver.
Yeah.
It was Jamal Murray and Russell Westbrook were lined up for a jump, and they started pushing and shoving. Westbrook pushed him, and then Murray didn't back down, and then a couple of the big guys went at it, and then Westbrook went after one of Denver's big guys. The Russian guy, Serbian guy, and he was like, "Oh, back you up," yelling at him. Oh my God! So that was comical.
I mean, so far you got kind of some new names, if you will. The Celtics are kind of mediocre. The Lakers are mediocre, which I think is a.
Toronto's pretty good. Yeah.
Toronto's playing good.
Yeah. Denver and the Utah Jazz are playing pretty good. Yeah.
Philadelphia's not a surprise. They were they were kind of comers last year.
Yeah.
The problem is there's 5,000 more games before it matters. So who knows?
Yeah.
But one thing we do know is the Knicks stink now, and the Knicks are going to stink at the end of the season.
And there was a rumor headed that Dolan was thinking about selling the team, and was going, please,
there you go.
Please.
If that was a public stock, it would have gone through the roof.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that guy, he looks like, you see a picture of him, he looks like he's been on a bender for 3 days, doesn't he?
Yeah.
His hair's all it looks like glue, and his hair's all messed up, and it's like I think he's in a rock band.
He's got a bad rap, and again, it goes back to that was ultimately the reason that Belichick left the Jets, because he was afraid that Dolan was going to take over the team.
Yeah. But how do you sell the Knicks? I mean, they're one of the biggest money-making franchises in the world. I mean, but then there comes a point in your life, I would think that I had enough. You know?
Yeah, the whole city hates me. Maybe I'll just sell it and become popular again. You know?
Whenever he goes out to the coffee shop, people are like, you stink! Yelling at
Yeah, I think he sends a guy out for the coffee now.
all the time, man. He doesn't want to leave his house.
Can you go get me a cup of coffee?
He wears a hat. Yeah.
Hat, mustache.
Yeah, New Yorkers, they don't hold anything back. Like, yelling at him.
I don't know if I think I might have told this story, but when you say that New York fans versus other fans, I was at the last time the Jets or the Patriots had, they had 6 losses the year that Matt Castle was the quarterback.
Yep.
I went up on a Thursday night. Brett Favre led.
Oh, yeah, I think it does. Go ahead.
Let him down the field, kicked the field goal at the end of the game. So the Brett Favre Jets beat the Patriots. Now, granted, it wasn't Brady.
Yep.
Trying to get out of the parking lot, if you've ever been there, is a 2-hour process. So I'm sitting in traffic in a bean field. I don't pave the parking lot or anything. And WEEI, the booth is right there. And, they're in the parking lot in the bean field. And so that's the radio station I'm listening to because I couldn't get any New York stations. All they did was apologize for the Patriots' loss. And I can remember thinking to myself, if this was in New York and the roles were reversed, there would be no, Favre had this. They would be blasting everybody on the Jets team or whatever. There's no forgiveness for New York.
Oh, yeah, they were just like, everybody's got to go.
Yeah,
everybody's got to go.
He's got to go. And right now, there's a lot of players, there's a lot of people at the Jets that need to go. Yeah. And it starts at the top. It starts with I think the general manager and the head coach.
You don't like Bowles? I'm a Bowles fan.
I can't stand him. He's terrible.
Yeah,
he's awful. Yeah, he walks into it, they just get absolutely.
He's not likable.
Embarrassed on the field.
Yeah, he's just not
and he
likable.
comes in like deadpan and says, "I'm really upset.
We got to get better at this. Yeah. We got to clean up this." Okay.
Yeah. And you watch the team go out, and they're representative of that.
Yeah,
there's no energy there.
Yeah.
And at the start of the season, the defense looked fast. They were flying all over the field. I'm like, hey, we got something here. And that was the end of that. But again, if you're going to get rid of Bowles, I think you need to get rid of the general manager too, because you guys got to change the whole culture.
And how many times do you do that? You do it every couple of years, and then you go back to square one, and then
Lord knows they've gone through a lot of coaches, since say the turn of the century, if you will.
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, there's constant teams that are constantly the same all the time.
Yeah, since Parcells left, it's 2 years here, 4 years there, 2 years there, So
now you got to get the big free agents. You got to get someone to go there and wants to play there. And you got to develop the guys the right way. I mean, how do you do that?
And I still say, I still say the Jets are in a better position long term than the Giants are because we have our quarterback. Yeah. Now, if we can get him some weapons,
you got to
get him a running back and
you got your quarterback
a couple decent receivers.
You play it right,
and we're good to go.
He's going to be really good.
So we can build around it. The Giants have the running back.
They had 3 guys on the All-Pro team. They had the place kicker. They had a place kicker. They had Jamal Adams and. Who's the other guy? Roberts, the return guy.
Yeah.
But start.
That's kind of like getting the setup reliever in the All-Star game in baseball. It's like, it's not really important, but we'll run them out there.
Some teams had no guys on the All-Pro team.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I think KC in general can run the table. Again, if Mahomes plays like Mahomes is a special player.
Yeah.
He might be the league MVP too.
You think so?
It might be.
Okay.
Yeah. People think he is, but 45 touchdowns. 10 picks.
Yeah.
Stats are out the wall. The team to me is perplexing. Is the Rams? They seem to have everything. They're a big stud running back.
But you don't believe in them, huh?
Don't believe in them. I think they're a year away. I think McVay's a tremendous young coach, but I don't know. I don't know if they're missing something or what it is, but I don't know. At one point, I thought they were the best team in football, about 5-6 games in.
I think in the first half of the season, I think that was kind of the general consensus.
I think like the Chargers, the team I would not want to play would be the Bears, though, with that defense.
Yeah.
They come after you.
Yeah.
They got enough offense to keep them in the game. They could win 17-14, 21-17. They can win those games.
Yeah. And again, you get a young quarterback in there facing that defense. That's
the thing about Trubisky. I remember he only had 10 starts in college. He played last year half a year, then he played this year. So you're talking about a guy.
It still amazes me. Yeah. And guys do that, and they get away with it. You played at a huge program, played at USC, you played at Michigan, whatever else. But you started 6 games, and maybe you did a little mop-up duty your junior year or something like that. It shocks me. That they can go in and, hey, you might be right. They might make a big mistake late in the game, but man, they did a lot of really good things for 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Brady was that way. Brady didn't play a whole lot in college.
True.
But
he also sat for a couple of years, too. So it's a little different.
Until Mo Lewis.
Yeah.
Hit Drew Bledsoe on the
All right,
sidelines.
Bama versus
go?
Bama versus Clemson.
Bama Clemson.
And
Bama Clemson.
Bama wins it.
And I got LSU winning the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay, and
And,
then
the Patriots do not win a Super Bowl.
And
write it down.
Bama wins the whole thing.
All right. Hey, Joe.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, man.
All right, George, you too.